never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another.
Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Well, as we prepare and get ready for the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game, which are both coming up on Sunday, go ahead and go to prizepicks.com and enter the keyword Ref Brandon to double your deposit right now up to $100 just by entering the keyword Ref Brandon at prizepicks.com. And to be honest with you, I picked the Super Bowl to be the Bengals and the 49ers when the playoffs started. So I'll stick with Cincinnati and San Francisco, but it would not surprise me to see Kansas City win, and it would not surprise me to see the Eagles win. As a matter of fact, the Eagles are a huge favorite in that game, but I'll stick with my early prediction until one of those teams lose. But I do think both games on Sunday are going to be really good. But today we're going to do part 3 in my Where Are They Now series. Of course, part 1 was Dennis Knight. Part 2 was Matthew Hyson. And to be honest with you, after I wrote all this stuff down for the guy that I was going to talk about today, for whatever reason, I feel like I've done this video before. Maybe I dreamed it and it just seems real. But as I was writing it down, I thought, you know what? This looks familiar. I think I've talked about this before. So if I have and you saw that video, I apologize. But maybe it was a dream. But even if I did talk about it, the channel continues to grow. So I'm sure there will be somebody that'll see it this time that didn't see it last time. And maybe I didn't talk about it before. Maybe I'm crazy and I dreamed the whole thing when I was thinking about who I was going to talk about next in our Where Are They Now series. If you watched the 30th anniversary of Raw this past Monday night, you saw this guy on there as one of the old legends. And it's funny because it seems like he just never, ever ages. But he actually debuted back in 1989, and he retired in 2020, but he only semi-retired. He still makes appearances sometimes, and as I said, he was on Raw Monday night, but he just doesn't wrestle anymore. But some of his accolades over the years, he's a 2-time USWA heavyweight champion. He was a 1-time WWF Intercontinental Champion, a 1-time WWF Tag Team Champion, and he went into the WWE Hall of Fame in April of 2016, so almost 7 years ago. He is currently married to his third wife, Denise. They got married in the year 2000. He has 4 kids total, counting all 3 of his marriages. And I'm going to tell you the ring names he used over the years. A few of them you won't recognize because they were the ones he used either in USWA or independent circuits before he made it to the WWE. But he had names such as Baron Samedi. That was his very first name in, I believe, South Carolina back in 1989 when he first started. Then he was the Soul Taker, Sir Charles, Rocky Las Vegas, Pimp Father, and then he become Smoke Train, Papa Shango, Kama Mustafa. That was later shortened to just Kama, but he was Kama Mustafa when he was part of the Nation of Domination. Then he was the Godfather, and then he was the Good Father when he was a member of Right to Censor. Yes, I'm talking about Charles Wright. He was born in May of 1961, so he'll be 62 coming up in May. And as I said, he never, ever, ever ages. He looks exactly the same. But to me, even though it never gets talked about, Papa Shango was the best gimmick he ever had. If you've never seen or don't remember the Papa Shango gimmick, I encourage you to go look up pictures and photos and highlights and watch some of his matches. It was a great character. It just didn't get used the right way at all. So after about a year, they decided, hey, we've got to do away with this. And that's when he left and came back as Kama Mustafa, then Kama. And of course, the Godfather is the gimmick he's most known for. And he enjoyed the gimmick so much that after he retired from full-time wrestling right around 2008, he became the manager of Cheetahs, which is a strip club in Las Vegas. He's actually from Las Vegas. That's why one of his ring names was Rocky Las Vegas. Now, to my knowledge, as of August of last year, he is still the manager of the Cheetahs in Las Vegas. And I believe there are 2 strip clubs called Cheetahs. The one in Las Vegas and the one in San Diego, California. The difference in those 2 is the one in California, you are completely nude, and they don't serve alcohol, and I completely understand why that doesn't sound very, very, very smart to have beautiful girls walking around completely nude and then a bunch of guys walking around drunk. And the one in Las Vegas, the Cheetahs there, is only a topless bar. And that is the one that Charles Wright is the manager of as of August of last year. So Charles Wright started wrestling in 1989, retired in 2020, only semi-retired though, and had all those gimmicks over the years from Baron Samedi all the way up until the Good Father, is currently the manager of Cheetah's Strip Club in downtown Las Vegas, Nevada. Any thoughts on this? Please feel free to let me know. That's 3 different wrestlers now in our Where Are They Now series. Hopefully before long we'll get to part number 4 in our Where Are They Now series. As always, if you have any suggestions or thoughts on anybody you'd like to see me talk about in a Where Are They Now series, I know the 3 I've done so far have all been wrestlers, but they don't have to be a wrestler. They can be a baseball player, basketball player, football player, a NASCAR driver, even a musician, if you would like to hear me talk about one of them, because I enjoy talking about athletes, because it's funny to me how some athletes, whatever the sport is, once they retire, they work behind the scenes doing something in that same sport. And then there are some that once they retire from that sport, you never see them again. It's like they never existed. And I completely understand that. I've always told Grace that if I ever get to the point to where I'm too old to be a referee, I won't be able to go to shows anymore, because every time I go to a show, I'm going to want to get in the ring. And of course, I'll be too old to do that, so I'll just stay away. So I can totally understand that, because if you can no longer perform, baseball, basketball, football, whatever it is, a lot of people aren't going to want to go, because when you go, you're either going to reminisce about you being out there, or you're going to wish you were still out there. So the best thing to do is just stay away. So it's amazing with guys like Charles Wright and Matthew Hyson and Dennis Knight. Once they retired, they actually found careers, good paying careers, away from wrestling. Now, you still see Charles Wright on occasion on Raw or SmackDown, and you still see Dennis Knight, not in WWE, but at an independent wrestling show somewhere. But now, Matthew Hyson, once he retired from wrestling, that was it. It's like he never even existed. You just don't see him at all anymore. So when he gave up wrestling, he gave up wrestling. Don't forget about Homes for Our Troops. Is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since its inception in 2004, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. What does Rockin' Robin do when she's bored? Tweet. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. And now I'll be singing that song the rest of the day. Bye.